Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm reading a cartoon about whether or not you believe in Santa Claus, and it demonstrates a concept that economists call Pascal's wager. Well, I've decided I do believe in Santa Claus, no matter how preposterous he sounds. What convinced you? A simple risk analysis. I want presents, lots of presents. Why not risk? Why risk not getting them over a matter of belief? Heck, I'll believe anything you want. The way to analyze this is to think about the possibilities, right? So you can either believe in Santa or not. Santa could exist or not, right? And think about what happens in each of these cases, right? If you don't believe in Santa and he doesn't exist, well, nothing much happens, right? If you don't believe in him and Santa actually does exist, you miss out on a lot of presents, right? If you believe in Santa and he doesn't exist, well, you have a funny story to tell, right? Not much happens there either. You get to tell a funny story, which is probably where we live right now, right? If you believe in Santa and he does exist, you get lots of presents. Now, you obviously get to control whether or not you believe in Santa Claus, right? Well, let's think about both of these cases, right? If he doesn't exist, you got a funny story to tell if you believe in him, right? It's probably still better to believe in Santa. If he does exist, it's definitely better to believe in Santa Claus, right? Now, that's obviously just a very toy example. Most people are not gonna die from not receiving presents. They're not gonna be majorly affected, right? Can you think of an example in life where the right or wrong Pascal wager will actually make a difference? So I live it right now, actually. So as you guys know from my videos, I am solo-sexual. I hold my romance toward myself, and you can, whether or not you believe that, we could draw that as a Pascal's wager, right? You can believe that people like myself exist, or in general the LGBTQ community exists, right? Believe in that it exists, or you might not, right? And whether or not it does exist can also be could also be true or false, right? LGBTQ, do they exist or not, right? Well, if you don't believe, if society in general doesn't believe they exist and they don't, well, nothing much happens, right? If society wants to believe that LGBTQ or solosexuals or whatever exists and they don't, well, we can still have meaningful friendships, right? Meaningful friendships. They might not be romantic, but you still get to networking with people, right? There's nothing. I know a lot of gay couples. I know other solosexuals, and it's still meaningful, right? It's still a great thing to the economy, right? Imagine if gay people or solosexual people were afraid of going out to restaurants, right? So I should put economy on there as well, right? Now let's think about the alternative. If society does not accept that LGBTQ people do exist, and they actually do, well, what do you think will happen? We'll probably miss out on a lot of innovations, right? Imagine the cure for cancer is being held in the mind of somebody who is LGBTQ that we don't want to acknowledge, right? Right now, our periodic table, it would be missing two elements if we didn't accept women into the community, right? 125 years ago now, right? So miss out on innovations would probably be the biggest loss, right? On innovation. I'll let you think about it, right? There could be violence as well, right? Believing in LGBTQ and it actually does exist, well then I'll let you think it would be a very wonderful world, right? I'll let you think about all the positives that come from it. There's probably too many to list, right? Now, what about your investment portfolio? So right now, as I speak, I'm probably a little bit more aggressive than that, but I have 10% of my portfolio. 10% of my portfolio is strategic metals, especially bismuth, indium, tellurium, thallium, among others, right? And the rest of it I have between precious actually, if I think about it, precious metals, strategic, mining stocks, and emerging market stocks, that's pretty much my entire portfolio, if you could believe it, because I live in the United States, right? If I'm completely wrong about that, my prospects here are not that bad anyway, right? I'll let you think about that, right? None of these, I can't fathom a situation where any of this is going to go to zero, right? Worst case is I lose 10%, right? Not even, right? Because none of this is going to go to zero. I can't imagine the device you're watching this video in probably has all of this stuff, right? So either the strategic metals could go up or they could go down, right? Even if they go down, I'm making a lot of art out of this stuff. I'll let you fill out this Pascal's wager. But the point I wanted to make is that there are some wagers in life that are so lopsided that you're risking very little to gain potentially a lot, especially when it comes to accepting people for who they are, right? I mentioned LGBTQ, but the same could be said about, for example, we're coming up to a Christmas season. There's a lot of people who don't like to be inclusive, and the people who have different dietary preferences or even dietary needs, right? Just think of it. Imagine missing out on a very big innovation because you refuse to accept somebody for who they are, right? And would you rather risk that or just have a funny story to tell at the Christmas table, right? I'll let you decide that, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.